Hello and welcome to Geek Speak. I'm your host Chris with my co-host Jon.
Hello.
We'll jump straight into the news here. We've got a bit of a new format. Instead of doing 3 headlines, one larger topic and a smaller topic, we're instead changing it around so that each of us is bringing up 2 topics each. Now, my first topic is that after taking a break of 12 years, the Cartoon Network classic show of Samurai Jack will be returning to their Saturday night Toonami lineup. Not as a repeat of the previous series, but as a whole new series continuing on from where its predecessor left off. Now, some of you may remember the series did actually continue in IDW Comics after its televised run. However, the majority of fans of the show didn't make that jump with the series, and so they've still been waiting for the continuation on screen. And now, with the massive popularity that it's still got, and the original creator, Genndy Tartakovsky, behind it, it's coming back, and it looks like it'll be an M-rated show, which I think is brilliant because it was something that was very dark in nature, and it's kind of difficult to do that whole good versus or good person in an evil world without having that more mature content in it.
I've got to wonder though, what is its target audience in this? Because a lot of the Samurai Jack stuff was for the younger teenagers. Is it going to go too far to be targeting 18, 19 instead of 13, 14, 15?
Being M, it's 15 and up, and a lot of the target audience is those people who were fans of it 12 years ago. I mean, they're the people who have been campaigning for it to return. They're the people that they're making this return series for.
Fair enough, it should be alright then.
Okay, take a quick swap over and we'll have your first story now.
So, in an interview with IGN, the Shigeru Miyamoto has mentioned a new kind of Mario that's coming up. So, it's supposed to be a different, whole kind of new sort of take on the whole Mario series apparently. Should be really good, but the problem is, like, we're all wondering, what is it going to be?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of difficult to say we're taking Mario in a new direction. I mean, being the figurehead of Nintendo, he's basically been in almost every genre they've got.
How much more can they do?
Yeah, I mean, he's been in third-person 3D adventure games like Mario 64, Mario 3D, and the Mario Galaxy games. He got his start in side-scrolling platformers. He's been in sports games with all of the Mario Tennis and soccer and all of the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. Super Smash Brothers for the fighting game side of it. And, of course, his second most popular franchise is the Mario Kart series and Mario Party. So, what is there left for him?
It should be exciting, whereas it's been mentioned that he's going to give more details next year at E3, so be looking out for that definitely.
Will definitely be something I'll keep an eye out. I mean, you never know. Might go as far as to have like a dark and gritty Mario first-person shooter. Give us your ideas for what this new Mario adaptation could be in the comments below. We'll love to hear about it. In a bit of other upbeat news, Charlie Cox, who is the actor who plays Matt Murdock and Daredevil in the Netflix original series of Daredevil, recently asked the Funko company if he could get a handful of the Daredevil pop vinyl figures, as they have been massively popular, and he wanted to give them to fans and to sick and injured children at the local hospitals and at other hospital and charity events that he was going to. And admittedly, when he asked for this, he asked for maybe roughly about a dozen of them. What he got from Funko, which I'll chuck up a picture either over here or over here somewhere, was well over 100 of these Daredevil pop vinyl figures. And it's like, considering that he is not selling these, he may autograph them, but he's literally giving these away to sick and injured children. And this company, knowing this, has just gone, oh well, here's a bucket load of them. So go nuts giving them away is just... It's not only a good move for publicity, I mean, as even we're talking about it, but it's just a good move that makes you think that this company is really trying to do something good.
Yeah, and it looks like it's actually genuine rather than a massive media gimmick, because they're not really publicising it everywhere as such.
Yeah, I mean, this story was originally just posted on Charlie Cox's Facebook, or his Twitter and his Instagram, where he retweeted his request for a dozen or so pop vinyls, and then he's got the photo in a tweet that's linked to his Instagram of him just sitting surrounded by them, which is probably up on screen by now so you can see it. And it's definitely not the sort of thing that he would have just done for publicity's sake. It was obviously something that he was genuinely asking about and thinking he might only get a dozen or so. So this response is just incredible.
Yeah.
And our last story...
Epic Games has filed a class action lawsuit, just a lawsuit, sorry, not a class, against a German gamer for developing a hack in-game.
Well, it's not just for developing the hack, it's for what he did with it.
And he's also actually selling it as a subscription.
Now, what is of note here is the fact that this isn't a single-player game that the hack is for. This is for a competitive multiplayer game. And the details of what the hack does are kind of incredible. I mean, you explained a few of them to me earlier.
So it's got a customizable smooth aim, which lets you change the customizable settings on how quick it takes to target people and how far away, which is pretty nifty. So the game already has an auto-targeting system. This just speeds it up, so it puts it on pretty much steroids.
Yeah.
So it looks like you're not cheating when you are cheating.
A lot of games do have that auto aim assist feature where if you're within, if you're aiming at someone and you're just off their left side or right side or something, it'll just jump over and target them dead center.
Except this is more like...
Yeah, if he's upping it that far, it could be something like half the screen away and locking onto a target.
And details have been released that there's also a 3D radar, which is customizable in-game, and a 2D radar that appears on your screen, so you'll always see where the enemies are. So it's absolutely fantastic. There's more on it to research it if you're interested, but I'm really concerned about the legal side of this rather than which game it is and all the details of the hack itself and
Yeah.
where the company's actually trying to go, like what legal precedents this would set for the gaming community. Whereas, like, because what are they going to sue him for? Like, what damages have the company sustained?
Yeah, well, with something like this, on one hand, if he's using this hack, well, anybody who's using this hack is most likely breaching their terms of service in regards to cheating and modifying the program. Even if it's a third-party program that you then have to load up, it's temporarily changing things in the game's registry, which in most cases will breach a terms of service on a lot of these games. And then on the other side, because he's charging a subscription for this, it could be argued that it's a potential loss of revenue from
the company.
Yeah, from the company for his actions, or through his actions, and then because it's creating an unfair playing ground, they're possibly losing
Even
other
more.
customers because of...
People not wanting to play the game itself.
Yeah, because I mean, if you were playing a game and someone shot you and they were looking that way, and
Wouldn't be much fun.
I was shooting you, they'd be like, it's not much fun, I'm not going to keep playing this anymore.
It definitely sets the precedent, this case, to what other factors are going to be considered in the future for hackers and things like that. So that's why I'm interested in this.
Yeah, I mean, there are a few communities out there that charge a subscription to access hacking programs and the like, or most often they're game trainers, or there are a few sites that can allow you to download no CD cracks and hacks similar to that nature, but most of them aren't charging you for the use of the program, they're charging you for the access to it to use the program, which is mostly them covering the costs of their download bandwidth and their storage costs. Whereas anyone else that charges a subscription is mostly for extra features to a mod or something, which is, in most cases, if not
too bad, it's pretty
completely
balanced.
supported, it's for a simple single-player game that's not affecting other people's gameplay.
The name of the game is Paragon, so check it out. Check out this story if you're interested. Follow it. Should be interesting. It will set precedence over in Germany. I'm not sure how that's going to affect the rest of the world, especially here in Australia. But yeah, just keep following it, especially if you're a hacker. I'd watch out. They're coming after you.
Yeah. Even though we're doing a new format, we'll still do our final recommendation. So this week has actually been a fairly light week for me in terms of things that I've watched. I'm going to actually recommend another anime series that I've been watching that is currently back for the second half of its first season. It's called 100, and it focuses on a young man going to basically a school battleship called Little Garden, where he learns to control 100, which is a variable type weapon, and basically learns that him and a handful of other highly trained, mostly teenagers, are the only people that can use these 100 weapons, and they use them to fight savages, which are an unknown extraplanetary enemy that has massive destructive power. It's a very action-y series, but it also involves a lot of the romance side, as he is a very gentlemanly person, and it's kind of a bit of a harem series with a tiny bit of cross-dressing in one of the female characters who dresses up as mail to get closer to him. That's my recommendation for the week. It's brilliant, currently airing.
I'm going to recommend Finding Dory. I mean, I just seen it in cinemas. It's more of a general recommendation, not for like any particular group of people. It's more laid back, you know, not for like the specialised gamer, not for like the specialised anime fanatic, but it is definitely worth a good watch if you've got the time. It's in cinemas now at the moment, and it stars Ellen DeGeneres. She's very funny.
Okay, thanks for that. Once again, we'll have links to all our social media in the description, and if you want to hit us up, recommend something that we can have a look at and see if we would recommend it to everyone else who's watching, or even just if you want to have a chat with us, you can contact us in the comments below, or we'll have our Facebook down below. Bye.